If you've ever tried to quit any addiction, you'll know the feeling of pure shame, pure guilt, pure regret that comes after a relapse. You said you would never drink again. You said you would never do another line again. Yet here you are. But you see, it doesn't have to be like this. See, the problem isn't the relapse, it's your attitude. You have what's called a negative mental attitude, NMA. And this is leading you to more negative acts. You're just punishing yourself for what you've done. But you see, relapses, they're gifts. Gifts from God. They're not there to punish us. They're there to guide us. So when you start getting those relapses, you start feeling that pain, that regret every single time, you know you've been called up. You know God's asking more of you. And this is why you're starting to get that regret, you're starting to get that pain. But we need to start using these relapses to guide us. We need to listen to the wisdom that is within the pain. See, I like to look at relapses in one of two ways. The first way is a reminder. See that pain that you get, that shitty feeling, that hangover, that come down, whatever it is. That's a reminder of why you quit in the first place. I mean, if you got off any addiction, it's probably not because of some logical reason. Yeah, I'm going to improve my health. No, it's almost definitely some emotional pain, some pang in your heart that's telling you, I'm done with this. That's what that relapse is. Simply a reminder. Because you forgot about that feeling. You're feeling not too bad again. Therefore, you went and did that drug. You went, did that act, whatever it is. So God gave you that reminder. And that'll keep happening again and again because we've got small memories. We forget a lot. I was the same. I forgot a lot from all the addictions I had, but in particular, when it came to drugs and alcohol. Because society today has just created this veneer, this appearance of partying, of drug use, of alcohol use, that it's okay, it's fun, it's great, it's exciting, it's just what we need on a weekend, but it's a fucking lie. And we remember that every fucking weekend. So many people tell themselves never again, but they always go back to it. That's why I'm trying to help people get off drink, get off drugs, become sober, and live a good life through things like my channel and my course. Check out the link in the description. Now, the other way, the other reason that you get a relapse is actually as a wake up call. You see, relapses, they're not isolated. They're not sole events that just happen for random reasons. You know, you fucked up somewhere. Maybe it was today, maybe it was yesterday. But whatever it is, you are off in some way, and that's why it happened. You're not doing the things that you need to be doing. It could be something as simple as a fucking thought up here. Or multiple thoughts. Maybe you got that thought, oh man, I want a joint right now. And you engage with it. You give it all your focus. You thought, yeah, I could do a joint right now. And you kept thinking that. But see, where focus goes, energy flows. And you're putting all this energy in, I need a joint. So of course, if you know anything about manifestation, you're bringing that into your life. And then, of course, you relapse. It could be something as your bad mood. Maybe you're feeling negative and you've done nothing about it. You didn't work out. You didn't go and have a nice conversation with someone. You didn't read a fucking fun, enjoyable book. You didn't do anything to try and raise up your vibration. You just sat with it. You just sulked. Man, I hate this. I hate feeling like this. Being sober is horrible. Blah, 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 blah. And then guess what? Of course, you're going to relapse. Maybe you were just around the wrong fucking people because, of course, we all know we're the average of the people that we hang around. I mean, this even goes with our media. The media that we take in now determines who we are. So if you're watching all these shows about taking drugs, all these fucking documentaries, wherever, of taking drugs, drinking, of partying, you're going to be drawn to that. It's inevitable. Same if you're around going out to nightclubs and all. There's no reason to be going to nightclubs anymore. It's old fucking news. Maybe if you're fucking 18, you just had your birthday, you're young, you're stupid, maybe you have an excuse, maybe. But if you're older than the age of fucking 20, 21, and you actually want to do something with your life, you need to leave all of that behind. And you know that. If you're in this far into the video, you fucking know that. That's why you're getting these relapses. That's why you're getting this regret. You're meant for more. You know it. So from now on, you need to look at the situation when you have a relapse, because you will. It is a given. You cannot have an addiction, try and quit an addiction, and not relapse. It is part of it. You just need to learn to view it in the right way. Maybe you could think of it as like energy, negative energy releasing from your body, moving, releasing from your mind and all that. But whatever way you want to look at it, you need to make sure it's fucking positive. You need to take that event and say, all right, clearly I was off. God has helped me out. I was fucking off. You need to say this stuff to yourself. I was off. God gave me a wake up call. Because you don't see it until you get that smack in that face. Until you're fucking stoned out again. You're like, oh, yeah, this is not what I really wanted to do. So be grateful. Say, thank you. I needed that. I needed that wake up call. And then look, where did I go wrong? Was it my thoughts? Was it my feelings? Did I allow myself into a low vibration? See, I got a post over there. Raise your vibration. It's literally to remind me when I'm feeling horrible, I'm feeling shit. Do something to raise your vibration. Breath work. Meditation sometimes. Meditation isn't always the best when you're in that super low vibration. It's good for relaxing the mind, calming the mind. But when you're really, really negative, you don't even want to let go. You're so tight. You need to do stuff like breath work, exercise, having a good conversation with someone. If just get in that flow state, do something that puts you in that flow state. You need to use relapses if you're going to get sober, if you're going to get off any addiction. If not, you will stay a fucking loser and an addict your whole life. Because people, they have this weird misconception. They think, like, you can just go cold turkey, which you can. You can go to cold turkey. You don't need to wing yourself off. I didn't. Maybe like heroin or whatever. Maybe you do. I don't really know. I never done heroin, but I done lots of other fucking drugs. And I just went cold turkey. But that doesn't mean once you stop, it's going to be gone instantly. You will relapse. But if you don't use them, you're going to give up. I've seen it so many times. So many times people just relapse and then they give up. But if you use them in a positive fucking manner, you'll build yourself. I mean, this is the same for every area in your life. All the most successful people in the world, instead of being crushed by their negative events that happened in their life, even just small things, they used them to build themselves, to grow. They use those negative feelings inside them to grow. I mean, they say growth is pain overcome, and it's not a lie. Of course, you can't forget about the fucking good habits, the solid foundation that you need to get off any addiction. Because of course, you're addicted to something because you hate your life. You're trying to escape because you hate your life, because you hate yourself. Even if you think, you're a self-confident macho man, if you're addicted secretly, deep down, maybe just subconsciously, you hate yourself. So what you need to do is start loving yourself. How you do this is through action. You've destroyed yourself. You've destroyed your self-image through negative acts. So now you need to start adding positive ones. Things like, as I just said, exercise, meditation, reading is great. All these things, socializing with the right people. You need these things in your life to feel great. Otherwise, of course you're going to feel depressed. Of course you're going to need to get high. They done this study on rats. They were testing the addictiveness of drugs like cocaine. So they locked these rats in a cage with a little water ball, but it had cocaine mixed with the water. And see, these rats would drink themselves to death. To death. So people were all saying, oh, cocaine's so addictive, drugs are so addictive, which is true. But they didn't at the time. They later changed this. They didn't realize it was because of the cage. They were locked in, they were trapped in, like you are mentally, you're trapped in. So they recreated this experiment. They created a rat park. So rats, like us, are social animals. They had lots of different rats, lots of different things to play, a whole area to run about. And yes, sure, some rats would try the cocaine, but none of them would continue to use it and use it and use it like the other experiment. It just goes to show your environment. An environment is more than just your fucking house, your room. Environment is internal too. So your environment will determine your actions. It will determine your life's direction. So you need to fucking change it. Start thinking positively, not just about relapses, about everything. I recommend you read the book Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill. Honestly, it's life changing. Another great book. It's called The Untethered Soul. That's another great book. See, read them two books if you want to start changing your mindset. If you've gotten this far in the video, you know you're done with that way of life. In fact, that whole life, all those relapses, that drug use, that drink, it's just leaving you in tears. That's what it did for me. I was just slowly and surely getting worse and worse and worse. I was so fucking depressed. Every single moment I wanted to die. And I was running to drink, to drugs, thinking it was making me better, thinking it was helping. Thinking this self-medication was the way, but no. It was destroying me and I kept getting worse and worse and worse. So many times I was fucking just going to bed in tears. Thinking, when will life change? When will things get better? And I couldn't see the blockage in my way, which was the partying, the drug use, the drinking. So many people are plagued with this nowadays and they don't even see it. That is the main point in this channel, is so people can see it, because maybe they'll see this video, maybe they'll come across my channel and they'll scoff at it like, oh well, I like drinking, yeah. But that seed is planted, and years down the line they realize, they're able to see when they're in the depths of despair, depths of hell, the depths of addiction, they're able to say, oh shit, now I know what the problem is. They might not even consciously realize that it came from this video, but I planted that seed. And now, of course, if you're ready to go all in, then that is what you need to do. You know you're ready because you feel that pang, that pain, that I cannot do this anymore. And it's not just after one hangover, day after day after day, you're saying, I can't do this anymore, can't do this anymore. You feel like you're about to break. And now I have the solution through my YouTube channel. And now I'm creating a course with all the knowledge that I have, all the mistakes that I made. Right now it's a pre-sale, so if you join now, you get half the price. When I fully release the course, I'm going to double the price. I'm done letting people suffer the way I did. Luckily, I was only a drug addict for about 2 years. I partied, drinking and all that for maybe about 4 altogether. Some people spend 20 years, 40 years living this lie. Even though they want to get sober, they want to change, but they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the wisdom. They don't know how to be positive when they get the relapses. And this is what I want to do. This is what I want to share. So just remember, you're better than the bag. You're better than that fucking ball. It's time to change.